Hey guys, I'm the Burke and I do things. And today I'm going to do a review of the new Too Faced Pumpkin Spice palette. I'm going to do 3 looks, 1 palette. I'm going to talk about my thoughts on the palette. I'm going to compare it to the Gingerbread Spice palette. And yeah, I don't do this very often. I don't often buy brand new palettes, but this one just spoke to my super basic girl soul. So if you guys want to hear my thoughts, see some comparisons, see me do 3 different looks where I do actually fully use each shadow in this entire palette, then keep on watching. Let's go. This is my first real palette review like this. I usually don't get palettes very early, but the day that this released, I realized I had enough Ulta points to buy it, and I don't think I've redeemed Ulta points since last year. And I thought, you know what? Treat yourself. So this is the new Pumpkin Spice palette. It is part of the Too Faced tin line, I guess we can call it, where there are 18 shades. These are the actual shades. I actually will insert right here a picture of what the palette looks like in natural lighting. It's a lot more vibrant than I expected. I feel like the promo photos of this palette were not very well done. And I also insert 2 swatch pictures. The one on this side is in studio lighting and the one on this side is in natural lighting. Overall, I'm happy with this, but I do want to show you guys the actual palette in work. I tried to do more of a purpley look, more of like a warm tone look, and more of like a greeny look. And then after I go through those looks, I'm going to talk to you about what I think of the actual concept of their pumpkin spice palette, my thoughts on the actual formula, and then I'll compare it to the gingerbread spice palette. I do not have the extra spicy palette because I really wanted a gingerbread palette, but I didn't feel like I needed a second one when they came out with extra spicy, and I kind of feel the same way about this. I don't need an extra spicy pumpkin palette, like I'm good with one. I do think there are a couple repeat shades in these 2 palettes, which I can show you when we get to that part of the video. I am going to try to do a voiceover for these, for this next part of the video. It will be my first time attempting a voiceover, so hopefully this goes well. So on to look number 1. Actually, before we get into look number 1, I did want to let you know with all 3 eye looks, I did use the MAC paint pot so that everything had the same base to start with. Also, I am a makeup enthusiast, not a makeup artist. I am not the greatest with eyeshadow, so please go easy. And now actually let's get into 3 looks. So I'm starting off with the shade A La Mode, and I'm using that as a transition color in this look. Then I'm going to use the shade Love You a Latte in the crease with a brush that's a little thinner than the first one. Then I went back in with A La Mode to blend them together, and now I'm going in with Spice of Life in my outer corner. And now I'm going back in with Love You a Latte to blend. Now I'm using Spice of Life again with a flat brush and just pressing that into the lower lash line. And then I'm smudging it out with Love You a Latte. Now I'm using PSL and Chill, and I'm putting that on with my finger, and then Want a Piece of Me with my finger as well. Now I'm using whipped cream in both my inner corner and on my brow bone. And a little mascara, and that is the first purple look for this palette. So for look number 2, I'm starting with the shade Pumpkin Spice, and I'm going to use that as my transition shade. Now I'm going to go in with You Spicy. I'm going to put that on the outer portion of my lid. And now I'm going to blend Ginger Spice into our crease. And I'm going back in with Pumpkin Spice to blend everything together. Now I'm going in with Warm and Cozy, and I'm going to smudge that on my lower lash line. And I'm blending that out with Ginger Spice. And I'm going back in with Warm and Cozy on the outer V. Now I'm going to put down some paint pot and make a little tacky base for the shimmer shades. First, I'm going to go in with Crisp with my finger and place that right over the paint pot. And then I'm going to top it off with Oh My Gourd over that shade and a little in the inner corner. And there you have it. This is our warm tone pumpkin-y look. So look number 3 is starting with the shade Sweetie Pie as a transition shade. And then I'm adding Fall For It to the transition as well. Now I'm going in with Spice Spice Baby in the crease. And I'm blending that all together with Sweetie Pie again. Now I'm going to take Cocoa Drizzle, and since I want to do more of a halo eye, I'm going to use a small brush and place that on the outer corner. And then on the inner corner. And blend again with Sweetie Pie. Now I'm smudging Cocoa Drizzle on my lower lash line. And I'm taking Fall For You and placing that on the center with my finger. And then Fall Vibes I will be topping that with. And then I just finish it by blending off the edges. And there you have it. That is the greeny neutral kind of look. Okay, so now my overall thought of the palette. If you like the formula from the Chocolate Gold palette, I really do think it is the same formula as that. I know sometimes their holiday releases do not have the same formula, but for these like tin packaging, I feel like they keep them the same. Okay, I actually am going to swatch the shimmers because I want to show you the different textures of the shimmers because I feel like not all of them are exactly the same. So when it comes to opacity, I would not consider these shimmers the most opaque shimmers. I feel like they are almost more like a topper shimmer, except for the one shade, Falling For You, which is the more like greeny gold shade right in the middle. That to me is the only one that's like a true like metallic type of shimmer. The other ones are more like chunky foiled, which I feel like work a lot better as a topper. So like today I have Falling For You with Fall Vibes topping it. I found that using a lot of the shimmers as toppers worked a lot better for me personally. And the mattes, I didn't have an issue with any of the mattes. I felt like they all performed very equally and very common to the formula I also have in the Gingerbread Spice palette. Now, I do not think these are dupe palettes. I cannot compare it to the Extra Spicy because I never bought that again because I didn't feel like I needed 2 gingerbread palettes. So there are, I believe, 3 shades in these palettes that are very similar. So if you look at the Pumpkin Pie palette, there are these shades right here, Ginger Spice and You Spicy, which are more of like a pink and orange, and then there's like the white cream up here. I find that they have sort of a very similar layout here in this Gingerbread Spice with the bright pink, the bright orange, and the white matte. I'm gonna swatch those 3 shades because to me nothing else really looks exactly the same in these 2 palettes. Okay, so on this side you have these 3 shades from the Pumpkin Spice, and this side you have the 3 shades from the Gingerbread Spice. I feel like the Pumpkin Spice mattes in general are more pigmented than the ones in the Gingerbread Spice. So you can see that these shades are very, very similar, and like in the actual pans, I don't know if you're able to tell, but they look very, very similar, but I feel like the ones from the Pumpkin Spice palette have a lot more color payoff. Now, personally, my overall review is I really like it. It's a little bit different. Now, I've heard people say that they expected a lot more orange out of a Pumpkin Spice palette, which I totally can understand. But for me, when I think pumpkin spice, I just think everything fall in general. And for me, fall includes Halloween. And for me, Halloween includes those more purpley tones. I think of like the green tones with like pumpkins have green and orange in them. Like, I personally found this to be very fall vibes, but my type of fall vibes. And I feel like everyone is really going to have their own very unique kind of feeling on that topic. I actually really didn't even realize until I bought it that the pumpkin spice is actually like the whipped cream from like a pumpkin pie, which I thought was a cute touch. Too Faced knows how to do cute packaging. That's not new for them. For me, this is a nice palette. It does not smell like pumpkin spice. It smells like they tried to make it not smell like vanilla again, like the gingerbread. But to me, it just smells like a little bit of an off vanilla. I don't know. It's not like a smell I really can identify. Am I going to say that you absolutely need this palette? I'm never going to tell you you need a $49 palette. I'm going to say that if you really like fall as much as me and are excited to get out of summer, and these are colors that you personally really enjoy, that you like the tin packaging formula from Too Faced, then yeah, you would probably really like this palette. I know I definitely will be reaching for it a lot this fall, and I'm excited to play with it. I'm excited to have it. I don't feel any regret towards getting it, but I definitely want to know what you guys think in the comments. I've heard a lot of people say that they're bored with Too Faced, that this one is just like a cash grab, which I'd argue most makeup is a cash grab, honestly, but for me, this one was just, this called to the basic little white girl in me because I love everything pumpkin. I probably should decorate my background for fall. But yeah, that is it for this video. Definitely let me know what you thought of this style of video. I've never done anything like it before, so I'll definitely be interested to hear your comments below. And as usual, thanks for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, click the subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I have my Twitter and my Instagram down below. Give them a follow, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys!